are talking Haunted Hotties, directed by Dean McKendrick. So, this one, not exactly a serious drama, you might say. So, Haunted Hotties, this is actually, I believe, a recut movie from different films, and at least has footage from a 2015 movie called The Erotic Vampires of Beverly Hills, also directed by McKendrick. Now, McKendrick actually had directed a previous movie that I have watched and reviewed called Deadly Pickup. And when I watched that movie, I didn't realise it was a kind of re-edited porn film about a female serial killer. And I was watching it thinking, my God, there's a lot of sex in this. And that had been edited down from a hardcore film to this, you know, I guess softcore one. So I was kind of wise to it this time. Although this one actually doesn't have quite as much sex than the Deadly Pickup. The story, if we can call it this. So this is, as I say, I believe actually a mishmash of different films edited together to make it like this kind of Frankenstein. And I don't mean actual Frankenstein, I mean like a hodgepodge movie with different sequences from different movies. Because I was watching it thinking, my God, there's a lot of kind of like plot threads and kind of unrelated kind of characters in this. The broad one being, there is kind of this bar opened up in, you know, this, I'm assuming Beverly Hills, which has got all these kind of vampire strippers and stuff in it who are kind of luring guys and drinking their blood, etc. But you've also got a storyline about this kind of female Van Helsing character. You've also got this storyline about this kind of mad scientist who is creating a potion to make invisibility, but he's also making a potion like the female Viagra. And there's like a character played by Christine Nugent who is in kind of almost playing different characters, but the same actress, you know. There's a whole bunch of other kind of ones about these kind of mobsters, these kind of like these two kind of like bro dudes. There's just, it's all over the place, this film. I mean, if you're watching this for a story, then look somewhere else. What can I say that works in this movie? This is just made for titillation, let's be honest. You know, I like B movies, and B movies have been kind of like, you know, they've been known to have scream queens, you know, buxom kind of babes, all this kind of thing. It's kind of part and parcel with the kind of schlocky kind of like, certainly like 90s and to a degree the 80s kind of B-movie scene where we had all the kind of like the Liliana Quigleys and such, you know, doing these sort of type of movies. And they still, you know, pop up here and there. So I kind of, you know, I'll sort of watch them and stuff. But as I said, this one is, there's no real kind of actual story in this. It just seems a bunch of random scenes that have broadly sort of supernatural themes in them. But yes, there's lots of pretty girls. Lots of pretty girls. You do get a little bit of TNA. So those of you who like a bit of TNA, there is, you know, we get a bit of vampires with fangs and stuff. We get a little bit of, you know, vampire slaying. We get a little bit of kind of sucking the blood. But it's all very, very like choppy, some kind of like some comedic moments. Don't kid yourself though, this is like, this is not really a proper movie as such. It just seems that like, someone's thought, let's just create a new movie by chopping up bits and pieces of old ones, we'll stick it out there. It's, people are going to be too kind of like looking at the boobs and the pretty girls to notice this doesn't make any sense. And there's like a bunch of different kind of like, you know, different characters from different films kind of like stitched together to make this kind of weird sort of hodgepodge of a movie. That's it. So yeah, you can't really watch this as an actual film. Even a B-movie film, even a silly, schlocky B-movie film makes more sense than this. So, you know, you can kind of sometimes enjoy a silly, schlocky film for its kind of dumbness, but this just seems a little callous, to be honest with you. I mean, yes, there's lots of pretty girls, but nothing makes sense. Had this been like maybe the original, the Erotic Nights of Beverly Hills, and I looked into this one, and there's characters in that aren't in this. I'm not 100% sure whether it's hodgepodge and stuff, but it certainly seems like it. So yeah, it's just a real miss. It's just nothing. There's no real anything to kind of like get your teeth into, so to speak, outside of looking at boobs and looking at pretty girls. But I got news for you. Google exists. So do we need stuff like this? I mean, I guess some people still kind of like it, otherwise it simply wouldn't exist to begin with. But I can't understand why something like this is put out there, to be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, everyone's very pretty in it. It's shot relatively well. Some of it's against green screen. But there's just nothing to it. You may as well just look at, like, show me random girly pics. Internet. Boop. That's kind of it. That's basically what this film is. It's 2 out of 10. You know, it kind of... I was watching it and initially it started to kind of make sense. And I was like, oh, interesting, different kind of plot lines. How are they going to weave together in this very schlocky movie? But no. No. 2 out of 10. Yeah, even... I like pretty girls and I like, you know, all of that kind of stuff. But, yeah, this was just a little bit of a brain scratcher. And not in a good way. So 2 out of 10. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.